Episode 17. What holds its value? July 8th, 1993. Summer continues in Tessie, but the rhythm of work begins to change. Money arrives, slowly, unevenly. The Ilves mill finally starts producing results, and payments come in parts, not all at once. There is still plenty of grain to process, but patience is now part of the harvest. At the XVII farm, one chapter quietly comes to an end. The old baler, worn through years of work, reaches the limit of what it can give. It has done its part, but the future will demand more. Far from Tessie, the Tams continue their journeys across southern Europe, searching, bargaining, picking through machinery markets like a scrapyard of opportunity. Somewhere among rust and steel, the next step for the valley may already be waiting. Closer to home, life takes root in a different way. The sheep settle well. There is talk of lambs to come. And at Liis Mägi's house, the small wool workshop is finally ready. She works with quiet energy, arranging tools, preparing space, waiting, with a kind of restless hope for the first real material to arrive. But not all changes bring comfort. News arrives from the state. The old kolkhoz mill, once the centre of production, will not be restored. It is to be demolished, along with several surrounding structures. For many in Tessie, the decision feels abrupt, uncertain, as if something larger is being erased without a clear replacement. Morning light filters through the window. Peter sits with a cup of coffee, unfolding a newspaper. The headlines speak of growing trouble in Estonia's banking system, delayed payments, instability, uncertainty. Names appear in print. Among them, Põhja-Eesti, not a collapse yet, but enough to raise questions. Peter reads in silence. The numbers feel distant, but the meaning does not. Later that day, Peter speaks with Walteri. The question is simple, but heavy. What is this farm meant to become? With markets shifting, payments slowing, and machines wearing out, it is no longer enough to work harder. The direction must be chosen, and in the cleared forest area, where trees once stood, Peter begins to see the land differently, not just as timber, but as something else, something that may shape the future of the farm. July 22nd, 1993. The work continues, but the thinking has changed.
Hello, wonderful farming people, and welcome back to Vintage Survival Estonia and episode 17 on Farming Simulator 25. And 21st of July and evening. So what has been going on? Quite a lot. We just need to give these cows a little bit of feed or hay. So hopefully we will move to that TMR soon enough. I think Tams have checked out one quite a good prospect fun to get the TMR going. But yeah, the sorghum is ready to make for feed. So it's on its last growth stage. So that is pretty awesome, and I think we'll tackle it tonight, or actually now. Start it now at least, and yeah, do some forage. And as you can see, new purchases. So we got now our own seed production. We got here this seeds additive, and we got the seed mixer. I already have a 1641 liters here, and then we got this old bucket. I think it was, hang on, what was it? Yeah, I can't find it now, but it was like 900 or something like that, so not too bad. And then we have this backing thing. We're gonna back these seeds here. So we have seed bags here ready to go to the gardens and onto the field, and then we got this seed hopper. So there's 800 liters already. We can move a little bit more at one go than these bags take 100 liters. Yeah, so that's pretty good. And let's put these forks away. What has been happening? So Ilves brothers, they paid us already 5,000, so that was money welcome. And salaries have again taken its toll. We got 2,600 left. Yeah, so that is one thing. So let's take a look of the baler. Oh, what was that? My phone. Yeah, so the bales. I am pretty much done with the bales on this baler. 1,662 bales. God damn, that's a lot. I have never done so many bales. Yeah, and yeah, the 302 what is there, that's the field 8 from Ilves brothers, the bigger field, as you can see here. So that took quite a bit, but I didn't mind because it gave us 32,000, so that was really nice money. Yeah, so I'm happy with that, but I think this baler has come to the end of its life cycle, at least on this part, because Tams have found us a new baler from Germany, but we need cash for that, but luckily we don't need it, the cash we need after next year's harvest, so we're not gonna get any more straw this year. So yeah, the Tams have actually expanded their search area quite a bit, so they have been going all the way to the I'm not gonna put this guy here now because I'm gonna take the forage out. Yeah, all the way to the Mediterranean Europe and South Europe, so that is pretty nice. There is a whole lot of new brands coming in and different kinds of options for us. So yeah, that is pretty sweet. And actually we bought a mulcher. Let's just jump here. Yeah, I'm gonna mulch next month. I'm gonna mulch this field here, and then I'm gonna plow it in because it needs plowing. So So, and this is mulched now, as you saw on the beginning. So this guy, we got this Gilbert. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's French. They bought it from France, and I think it works really well. Just the perfect size for our farm. Yeah. So yeah, let's take the forage harvesting. We need to go to the sorghum field. We get a little bit of protein for these cows. That is pretty good. And we do have quite a lot of chaff going on. How much? Let's see. Where are we on this guy? Yeah, I think I will storage these for winter, or I don't know, halfway. Yeah, but yeah, those cows don't take so much, but we'll see where we're going with that. I don't know. I have been thinking about the route at this farm. Where do we go with this? Because yeah, those cows take quite a long time to make any profit. But the milk is such a small amount. I think I sold. I don't know. I think I sold a little bit. Yeah, I sold 2,000 liters again, and it just takes forever to produce that 2,000 liters, and also it's just not quite a it's quite small money comparing to bells and everything like that. So especially the garden products. So it was only 1,300 for 2,000 liters. So I don't know where to go. I think I need to talk to Walter. What's his opinion on that? But anyway, let's start chatting this. And then next month we have we do have the Mägi's sorghum harvest that will go to the Ilves mill, and yeah, if that is producing quite slow, we are kind of on hold on investments in that, because yeah. And one thing was sorry, there's an Estonian mosquito in my throat. Yeah, this guy I bought. Hang on, is it too far away to run? I think it is. Let's jump. Yeah, it's over there. So I bought this Dipper Fox. I don't know where the Thames got it, but it's really nice stump grinder. So I have plans for this. It might, yeah, I think it supports our business. I have plans for this area, because earlier I told you that I'm going to expand the fields. Or that I'm going to plant the birch trees here, but I'm not going to. I have a different kind of plan for this, but you will see that a little bit later. Yeah, but this is knocking out those stumps quite nice. Yeah, so yeah, that is one interesting thing to come, but obviously that also needs money. Everything seems to be needing money, but we'll see if that investment is possible at some point. I don't know. Hopefully it is. And yeah, the sheep. Yeah, let's take a look. There is we did some research, or the Katitam recommended. We have actually Estonian blackheads here, and that was 16 that I bought. It was 3,911, so not too bad. And then we have these Saanen goats, which was eight of these. So we get a little bit of goat milk. I don't actually know, but I know that people are using the goat milk just in the area here. You know, making cheese and just using it, making food, you know. But yeah, Estonian black cats, pretty nice. And I think we have started producing a little bit of wool already. Hello. Yeah, goat milk and wool coming here, and they're just getting feed. So I just hope we will get a little bit more of these. And they actually can manage quite nice during that winter time, and they don't actually need not so much attention from us. So that is pretty easy animal to have. And this shut down. Yeah, and yeah, that roadside sale point is doing quite such a job that it was expected, and slow but good money. And yeah, that would be nice to expand a little bit and give more options, and more than apples and apple juice for me. Yeah. Yeah, I hope we'll see if we go stop by to the store at some point, because yeah, the baler is waiting there, and it's a glass baler, old one, but it's used quite a lot of used, and therefore it was a little bit under 40k. I don't know how much it will cost when towns will service it, but anyway, it's quite a lot bigger and makes the baling so much easier. Anyway, also there is a money pit that's going to be, and I have no idea how much it's a square bale, so the twine, I'm not sure how much that will cost, because of the old baler that we have. It doesn't require twine, so it can just makes the bales, you crushing it or compacting it so they stick together. But obviously the twine is much more better. Yeah, and yeah, a little bit of setback news for Thames and for us and for Ilves, basically for everybody. The government, they don't want to have anything to do with the old kolkhoz grain mill, so they are going to demolish it, and I think they want to demolish also one or two buildings on the old kolkhoz area. I think it's just a maintenance cost or something, and they would like to, get rid of that whole plot and those apartments also. But obviously they won't now, because people are living there. Yeah, so that is a little bit of a question mark. What is going to happen with that? But that is decided that they will demolish the whole thing down. Yeah, I would think that Thames would have some kind of an interest to do something with that area, maybe buy it. We'll see. We'll see what they decide. Oh my god, I'm running out of fuel, it seems. So, yeah. And Maggie. So, yeah, we built that knitwear. So, only thing is now just to wait for the raw materials, aka wool, come out of our sheep pen, and Maggie will be able to start, producing fabric and clothes. That would be really cool. That's one income that will probably come in winter time. I think we need to go and get some fuel on this guy. Yeah, quite a lot of different kind of stuff going on. Yeah, but the future, where do I want to bring this farm? That is a little bit of a puzzle, because obviously, yeah, the cow, dairy, and cattle direction, that is all that we have a barrel there. That is taking forever. But we'll see, and I do want to get the peat thing going. I have one idea, but we'll see if Walter thinks that there is. Oh, what the hell are you doing? Where did you put that? On the forks. Okay. Yeah. But the one reduce on cost is the seed. That is pretty awesome. And we do have also that oats on the loft still to sell. And actually, yeah, and I had to sell a little bit of firewood, because I hit the bale limit, the pallet limit. But that's okay, and I sold 4,083 kroons worth of that firewood. And what else? I also sold on the roadside. We got 11,473. There was quite a few pallets of apple juice and apples, and one raspberry pallet also. So that was pretty cool. And then that Dipper Fox stump grinder, that was 13,400. Yeah, that was pretty expensive, and that mulcher was, yeah. Oh my god, no, there was the light switch. It's still a switch, not the gradually moving thing. But I think we need to go call quits on it today. And just continue in the morning. Hopefully the Ilves brothers will have something to sell and give us some money. We need it. And the field 12, the big field that we have here, this is now mulch, and it's ready for grass. And I would think that I think Arvo will start seeding it tomorrow, maybe, yeah. Because we can't mulch this field until next month. Otherwise it won't give mulch state. Yeah, that is probably that, but we could mulch these guys. But we'll see. First things first. Well, maybe I'll put Arvo there, and when I need to finish this field obviously first, and yeah. So that is pretty much where we are going now, or at. And yeah, I think I will just off camera, I will seed the grass, and first to get this sorghum sorted, and guess mulch the Mägi's fields, and I think I could bring you back next month when we're gonna tackle the sorghum harvest. Yeah, that will probably be the best. This is just you have seen these kind of jobs before. It's just one over there. Yeah. Well, I will see you in next month. Yeah. Good morning, everybody, and welcome back. And it is August now. Oh, and these guys. God damn, these guys. Yeah, we have had a lot of trouble with the deer, and now this group of boars are hanging around here. Boo! God damn. Yeah, I don't know what to do with them, but that's okay. Maybe I think we should get a dog, or possibly two. Yeah, because also I've seen tracks on the woods of some kind of a wolf or something is lurking around the sheep pasture, so that would probably be a good idea also, and it would the dogs would keep the deer away, and maybe those boars also could smell them, see what to figure out. But anyway, as you can see, the grass has grown. I was just thinking that, oh my god, I'm still on the baling thing this year, probably, but I think we need to somehow get that bigger baler out of the store. And yeah, I'll just, by the way, delivered this all of our extra seed that we have to the gardens, so that is what we're gonna do first, because we need to now set up for we can leave this guy outside. We need to set up for harvesting that sorghum. So what I'm gonna do probably with the yield, I think I will store my 50% here for the chickens. I believe somebody turned the switch on. Yeah, so I think chicken will accept sorghum. I think they will eat that. Yeah, we need to, we got seed in the pocket, but you can see how this works. I need to load it up, so I need to load it up, so we can start running when we are in the harvest. So yeah, and hopefully, as you can see, we are on 7K. So I did pretty much everything, quite a bit of those jobs by myself. And wait, I get there and out. And what has been going on? Obviously, yeah, the sorghum that we I was looking at my nose, but what the hell? What did I write about sorghum there? But yeah, the sorghum that we made for feed. So we made 219,539 liters. So there's quite a bit coming, and I don't think we can sell because it doesn't go yet. We don't have that mixer, but I have one proposal in what am my eye on. So yeah, the times are looking to get that, and this was earlier. This was like 70%, 78 now. Yeah, so it is possible that I could sell that and maybe it would be, yeah, and then I wouldn't need to bale because I could just make chaff out of those grass fields again. I think we do have a, yeah, and now there's something on the sheep pasture, which was the last episode. There was no meadow, so now it's one growth stage more. So now there is a little bit. It is pretty good. Yeah, this bucket is quite small. But, yeah, the Ilves brothers have Ilves brothers have taken our mulcher, borrowed it, and they mulched the couple or 3 fields over there. Yeah, so they have been busy on that, and money. They got a little bit of cash. So yeah, we were discussing that it would be possible to give us 10,000, so that would be really, really good money. And yeah, what else was there? Yeah, I sold one load of. There was great demand. Noah called and he needed firewood, so I sold one trailer load of that, so that was 6,553, but yeah, basically, I don't, yeah, but it's probably in that 7,000 that we have on the account. Yeah, and that took a little bit longer, that field 12, because I was battling with one problem. I got an issue that the seeder doesn't work with the worker, so I did try to do it myself. Obviously it needs cultivation, so I need to cultivate the whole field because it was only mulched. That took a couple of minutes of wandering. Can we get this bucket there? Yeah, and the seed thing is pretty good thing because we don't have to, we don't have to buy it. So only the additive. So that's pretty good. can loot this guy. Yeah. And only thing is, on this season, you know, the Harvest Busters, obviously, yeah, sunflowers, but that will take a couple of months still. But that's okay. And yeah, one thing I need to show you guys what is kind of a plan. It kind of belongs to the plan that what we're gonna do with the you know, main focus on the farm. So well, let's just jump here. I did a little bit of we ordered some gravel and did some work with the yard, you know, here. So we spread gravel and leveled this whole area here. So we got a lot of pallets and bags. So I took 4 out of the stories because delivery to Noah. So yeah, take a look at this. We got peat in here. So this whole area, I was planning to do the field here, but it's not suitable soil. So as you can see, it has a little decline, and it's kind of a swampy, kind of a swamp area, and all the water is running down there to here, and that is really moist, and under that surface soil, there's peat in here. So yeah, we were researching that and to dug out a while back and dug some ground there and find the soil. But we're gonna make a peat field on this guy all the way there, and that kind of suits with the main plan where to drive this farm to. But I think we need a contractor, but you will probably see it later. Yeah, so we need a contractor to get rid of all this topsoil, and then we can get into the peat, and we'll see how much investment that gets. But at least we're gonna get that peat off the ground. You know, or open the ground on this season still. Yeah, so let's put the let's get this guy warming up, and that tractor can stay on. Yeah, so I think we're gonna just head to the field. Yeah. I'm not gonna service this. We're gonna go through this harvest with this. Oh, I think so. Or maybe I don't know. No, we're not gonna. This has to manage until. Maybe I will fill it up. Yeah, okay. I think I will see you at the... was there anything else? Yeah, and yeah, that we rolled. That big grass field needs some fertilizer. There's no fertilizer in that, but I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. I don't know. Maybe I will, because the Ilves brothers, and we, you know, maybe I will. Yeah, I think I will get the sprayer and do that thing. Yeah, probably need to do this on this month, and next spray on it, or I basically can. Maybe I can put some fertilizer still on next month. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah. So yeah, I think I will see you. Yeah, I think I will see you when we start harvesting. I think there's not much else. Yeah. See you in a bit. Okay, Tonu is doing harvesting, driving the harvester on the field now, and I got this forest grit on the go. I think we need to Arvo can start spraying that grass field and mulching also the which we're gonna plow. And I took the Crown trailer with us and put the sides on so we can take 10,000 liters with this. And yeah, I was thinking about that, what am I going to do with that grass on the next cut, and it is probably best that I'm gonna just use the forage harvester, because I think we're gonna need to upgrade for the baler also. And this is just, yeah, getting nearly 100 hours, and this has little issues, this tractor. But yeah, that takes quite a lot of money, but that said, then I can, where is he? He's over there. I'm full. Oh dear. Yeah, so, yeah, I could just sell the silage, and it's better price, and towards the winter that would be done, fermented fully. And obviously the price in the charcoal and firewood is getting up and up every week, so that is a good thing. Yeah, I think that is the best thing, not take too much stress on the next cut on that baler. And obviously we have that old baler left to sell, but I'm not sure about the value. It's probably not so high. Yeah, we will manage. But the beating and the contractor is, I need to do some research and get some kind of a company to do it for us, because there is need to some heavy equipment or dozer or something like that to make it happen. We are not gonna do that with the bucket or something like that. That is not possible. I'm testing something like this. But yeah, this is looking pretty good. The sunflowers are there going to the mill, and hopefully the chicken will eat this, so Maggie can have a chicken pen full, and also and then we can, I think Maggie will probably sell to Ilves brothers her cut, and I don't know what I'm gonna do with mine. But yeah, I think we got a couple of jobs to do, spraying and things like that, so harvesting this field and these sunflowers. And I think hopefully I will see you later.
The old machines can no longer keep pace. The four-trip tractor struggles under the growing demands of the farm, and Peter makes a decisive move, securing a newer Valmet tractor, along with a slurry tanker to match. At the same time, contractors arrive to begin removing surface soil to prepare for peat extraction. Across Estonia, land is being re-evaluated. Prices rise sharply, on paper at least, as the state attempts to define value in a system still finding its shape. For farmers like Peter, the meaning is unclear. The land is worth more than before, but money remains just as difficult to hold. Together, Peter and Walteri study documents, numbers, possibilities, looking for something solid, something that will last. Join us and subscribe to the channel. Episode 18 begins.